Hello, good evening, everybody. It is Brian here of This Is What Brian Thinks Adventures. Happy early Monday, July 25th of 2022. I have some very important announcements to make as well, and I also want to pass on some very wonderful news as well. And before I do that, I want to show you this wristband I got for my birthday that I have on my wrist right now. I got the K-Days wristband for my 29th birthday in May of 2 months ago. For those who would like to know, is that I'm also very pleased to inform each and every one of you is that I recently had 2 job interviews last week during the 3rd week of this July of this month. So I had a job interview with Safeway Garno on the south side of Old Strathcona. That's not far from here. That's 3 blocks from our place. And likewise, this past Thursday, July 21st, 4 or 5 days ago, I had my job interview with Cineplex Movie Theaters of South Edmonton Common. And likewise, I'm also very pleased to announce is that I'm also going to be getting signed up for Special Olympics bowling at the end of summer holidays in the fall of this September, in between my new work schedule as well as my school post-secondary college schedule at the end of summer holidays in the fall and September, in a month from the last month of this summer of August, come September in the fall. So stay tuned for that as well, everyone. And for those who would like to know is that I'm also very pleased to inform everyone is that I have been trying very hard to look at other job places near my place. In fact, this year marks the 1-year anniversary that I recently took the GO bus in Burlington to Niagara Falls when I was in Toronto for my grandma and Auntie Hazel's funeral that week when I was visiting my Auntie Paula in Waterdown. So I have a YouTube video of that as well. So for those who would like to know, I have over 13,900, nearing up to 13,990 YouTube videos. So I am nearing up to 14,000 as well. And for those who would like to know is that I'm so pleased to tell each and every one of you is that I'm very excited to hear a phone call from one of the job places I had my amazing job interview this last week on early 3rd week of this July of this month. So I'm looking forward to giving everyone all a heads up as well. Now, for those who would like to know is that my mom, my stepdad Neil, and I, in the middle of this September in the fall, after the summer holidays in a month from August, we're going to be attending the Comic-Con, the Edmonton Comic and Expo, at Edmonton Expo Center at the end of the 2nd week of this September. So that will be a few weeks after the summer of the last week of this July, and after the last few weeks of this August. So that will be after Labor Day, September long weekend. Now, before I get into any of that, I would like to tell you is that I'm also very pleased to see that I'm looking forward to getting things back on track. I'm looking forward to seeing what my new work availability is going to be like, and looking forward to working around my new work schedule as well as my college, school, post-secondary education schedule for my courses at NAIT. I will be focusing on over this fall and over the winter and this spring, over the 2022-2023 semester term, after the last 6 weeks of this summer. So after the last week of this July and after the next 5 weeks of this August of next month, I will be going back to my schooling and my in-person Adobe Photoshop courses at the beginning of the fall term in September, in a month and a half, 6 weeks from the last week of this July and after the next few weeks of the final month of this summer of August. So stay tuned for that, everyone. Now, for those who would like to know is that I have been very understanding during the summer of this year, and I've been trying very hard looking at other job places, even though it has been very struggling. But you know what? I'm very pleased to tell you is that I'm so glad just before this Canada Day July long weekend, at the beginning of this month of July, I finally got to meet my friend Kishan. He's a very good friend of mine who also is in high school at my old school where I used to go to, LY Cairns, where I was in junior high and senior high school for 8 years. And likewise, I'm very pleased to tell you is that I'm looking forward to working very hard and focusing very hard on my new job, and also refocusing on getting my school post-secondary schedule back on and work things around my new schedule and my new work schedule, as well as my school post-secondary schedule, and also being more careful about making YouTube vlogs too. But for those who would like to know, I will be on YouTube as always in between my new work availability as well as school, and I will tell you about my new job where it is, so I will provide you with that announcement for the end of July 2022 update on the last weekend of this July, at the end of the final week of this July, so sometime either the last Saturday of July 30th or a week from this Sunday, the last July 24th, on the final Sunday, July 31st, the day before a civic holiday, Monday, August 1st, and I will provide you with that as well. And also, I will provide you with the August 2022 update on the first Monday of August 1st, at the beginning of early August of this summer. Now, for those who would like to know, is that I'm still going to replan my Hamilton-Toronto trips this year in between my new work availability schedule as well as my school schedule. And I also going to replan my Calgary Vacation Stampede trip to early second week of early next July next summer in 2023. So between the last week of this July and over the next 11 months will give me lots of time to get things organized between now, the last 6 weeks of this summer between July and the last few weeks of August, to get things back on track, as well as getting my schooling back on it, as well as getting things turned around once more. Now, I'm also very pleased to tell you is that I am also going to provide August 2022 update on the first Monday, civic holiday, Monday, August 1st, so stay tuned for that as well. And I will provide you with an important announcement at the beginning of this August to tell you when I'm getting signed up for Special Olympics bowling, so I want to say please stay tuned for that as well. And YouTubers, I hope you have yourselves an enjoyable week, and thank you for hearing me talking about very important announcements. And before I go, I really want to say I hope to get my 4th COVID-19 vaccine booster dose before I start school in September, and as well as I'm looking forward to refocusing on getting stuff back on track, like getting my school schedule on track this September, in the fall, and a month from this summer, of the last week of this July, and after next month of August, and especially during the 2022-2023 semester term at the beginning of this upcoming year, as well as the following next year's 2023-2024, 2024-2025 semester, as well as the 2025-26 semester as well. And who knows, I might be taking courses in 2026-27 semester, I don't know yet, but I am looking forward to getting things back on track. And I'm very thrilled to tell every one of you is that I'm very excited to hear a phone call from one of the job places I had my job interviews recently. So hopefully if I get a call from the Safeway Garneau, I'm going to say yes, and say yes, I am going to absolutely join the wonderful team of Safeway Garneau on the south side of Old Strathcona. And for those who would like to know, is that everybody would be very proud to hear I've been trying my hardest to find another job that's not too far from my house and where it's walking distance for me, and also what makes sense for me to refocus on my school schedule at the end of summer holidays after the summer, as well as over the fall, winter 2022-2023, as well as early this spring of March of 2023, as well as close to early this upcoming next April as well, before my next birthday, for my 30th birthday, comes up in May 2023. So there's going to be lots of time for me to get things rescheduled as well between now, during the last 6 weeks of this summer, between the final week of this July as well as over the next 5 weeks of August. Most of all, I'm also going to be getting things refocused on again during the fall season, as well as during the winter and early spring, in between my new work availability in my school. And likewise, I'm also very pleased to tell you is that I'm also going to plan my Soundwave schedule in between my new work availability schedule, as well as my school post-secondary schedule. Again, I miss being around ladies and gents at raves. I still love doing that, and I'm still going to continue doing so. I'm still going to balance that out too. And most of all, and most importantly, I would like to say before I go, everyone, especially every one of my friends and my old teachers who I had in school in L.Y. Cairns for junior high and senior high school a long time ago, would be very proud to hear I am finding a new job that's not too far from our place, and also where it's very proximity, and all, but most importantly, how I'm making a lot of very responsible decisions right now and being way more careful what I'm going to do for my work. And most importantly, I hope everybody, including my friends, my old teachers who I had, that I can call them by their first names and still call their last names, because I'm not a student at L.Y. Cairns anymore, so I'm permitted to call them by their first names and their last names anytime. So anywho, for people like Aaron, Miss Yastruk would be very proud, and including other people like Mark, Mr. Edie, Nikki, Miss Weezy, as well as the other of all the teachers, and including Deb, Mrs. Day, one of the secretaries, and from my old school, L.Y. Cairns, would be very proud to hear about the amazing decisions I'm doing for my work as well, including how very careful I am on my travels to Hamilton, my old place in Ontario, on visits, and how I have stepped up to take initiative on taking the buses on my own on the HSR of Hamilton Street Railway in Hamilton, our old place in Ontario, on visits, exploring our familiar routes where my mom and I used to go to, including using the HSR, using the bus in Waterdown, where my Auntie Paula's place is not that far from Aldershot Station in Waterdown area of Burlington. So it's very rewarding, especially taking my Go Bus and Go Train trips and using the bus in Oakville Transit, including taking the subway, the streetcar, at our familiar places on the TTC in the downtown area in Toronto that I still know and remember, like Eaton Centre, taking my subway trip between Union Station and St. George Station again, and places besides Bloor-Yonge Station, Bay Station, Dufferin Station, Christie, Bathurst, Spadina Station that I love visiting as well, including me visiting Ossington Station, where I love visiting the most, where I used to go to with my Auntie Paula, my mom, and my grandmother a long time ago. And I hope every one of my friends who used to be my old teachers from L.Y. Cairns and junior high, senior high school a long time ago, I hope they can get a chance to watch my YouTube videos sometimes in between their breaks or on their own time after school, and something for the kids and for the junior high, senior high students that they can do on their own time before school or after school, or at the end of the day when they're home after school, or on days when they're not at school. So this would be very something amazing too. In fact, everybody would be very proud about that too. And in fact, my friends and my old teachers who I had and who I know and remember would be very proud most of all that, and the person that I am now is really going to put me in a position. And yes, I'm still going to phone everybody, every one of my friends, my old teachers from my old school, L.Y. Cairns at school, are on field trips still in between my new work schedule and school, and I hope they can come see me at my new job, say hello. As long as it's not interfering with my new work schedule, that could be a possibility too. Now, I hope you all have yourselves a safe good night, and I will see you on the next YouTube video. Be sure to stay tuned for end of July 2022 update, July 31st, as well as August 2022 update of Monday, August 1st. Have a good night. Thank you for this very important announcements. July 25th of 2022. Stay safe, everyone.